Hello everyone, this is a guide for the any percent hitless run in Lies of P. It's also my first guide in English, so if I pronounce something wrong or explain something not well enough, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below or on the Discord servers. This run is really long for an any percent run. It's around about 3 hours. My route is like 3 hours to 3 hours and a half. So yeah, it's a really long run and a really tough one as well. Basically, the game starts on a train at the Kret main station. And in this train, we can't sprint or roll, so I use the Legion Arm and the Glaive to get through the train faster. Throughout the whole run, I primarily use advanced and tech weapons, so it only makes sense to use the Dexterity class as starting class. It also gives us the most vigor stats out of all starting classes. So to have more starting stamina is also good for this route. In the first area of the game, we usually don't need that much items to pick up. I pick up a little bit more items because I like to have early levels. So in this case, I get some Gorg wheels and ergo fragments, but the only mandatory items are the two thermites that are lying around. The first one is in the toilet that you can collect right here. You go on the right side into the toilet. Better attack from this puppet here and sprint out. We will need all of the thermites in the early game for the Andreus script in the second phase. So make sure you collect all 5 of the thermites in the whole early game. For this section, we need to refill the first Fable slot without using Fable catalysts. So I decided to use running R2 into charged R2 attacks on the puppets here. Because that gives you the most Fable back from the attack. Or fill the most Fable. And for this boss, we will do 2 charged Legion Arm attack to get the mini stagger. And do right after another charged Legion attack into a charged R2 attack to get the big stagger. Here's the first one. Here's the second one, mini stagger. Third one, and charged R2. Bam. Stagger, and dead. It's actually the fastest way that I know. But yeah, you can do it like you want. That's the strat that I use, and it always works for me, so was the best way for me. At this store, I do a little bit of menuing and set up all my items for the further run. For the next segment, we usually don't kill any puppets unless one dog that could potentially hit us at an item pickup. Pick up the second thermite right here. All other items are optional, so you don't have to pick up if you don't want to. It's only extra levels in the early game. At this merchant, we buy 1 throwing cell and 2 blitz abrasives. And sell every defense part and ergo. Equip the glaive and also level up to 14 technique. for the upcoming boss fight, the Parade Master. Basically, for the next boss fight, we will use one Blitz Abrasive for extra damage on the boss. And we will use the Fable art of this glaive weapon. The glaive has a dodge parry as Fable art, which strengthens the next attack after a successful parry. Only the R2 uses one Fable slot, so if you just parry, you always get used Fable slot back. For the R1, you also get a more powerful attack, but you don't lose the Fable slot. So what we wanna do here in this boss fight is parry 3 times and use the R1. After the third attack, you will mini stagger and give us the opportunity to do follow up our R1. And for the next attack, we will parry again. And this time we will use the R2 combo, because if we do the R2, we also can break his posture, but we will use the R1 or R2 first before the riposte for more damage. But if you do too much damage, he will stand up and we can't take the riposte anymore, and we have to handle phase 2. So only do a little bit of damage before the riposte. After the riposte, just do charge the 2 or 1, whatever, to finish him off. Yeah, but I think in this run, I messed up a little bit, but it's nice to show, because you can see here, he do his 1 arm attack, and sometimes if you only dash forward, you miss the hitbox of this attack and the parry goes into nothing. So that is what happened here. I lost my Fable slot. But it is not the strat I want to show you, because it's a little bit shitty. We enter the boss room as normally. Use our Blitz Abrasive. And dodge parry 3 times. 1 R1. Second time, R1. Third time, mini stagger, 2 R1s. Fourth time, and R2, stagger. And we finish him off with 1 R2 or R1 into riposte. And immediately do a charge the 2 right after. Combined with an R1 or R2, whatever. Just practice this boss 1 or 2 times, especially the counter attack, table art, whatever you want to call it. And the boss is kind of free. It's also super fast. That is why I like the new weapon in the early game. It's so much better compared to the rapier that I used in the earlier runs. So it's really strong. You need to pick up this Hidden Moonstone before the hotel, because we need it for later upgrades in this run. And make sure you fill up your Fable slot, because we will potentially need it. Depends how fast you want to have your route. Because I like to kill the upcoming enemy for a little bit extra aggro, but I will tell you more about it when we are there. For the next section, it's only sprint. No mandatory pickups unless the growing cell that's right here after the drop. Right there. This ergo is optional, don't have to take it. But actually, this is important if you don't want to get random hits on the upcoming ladder. Kill this dog with one running R2 and 3 R1s, I think. 1, 2. Oh, just 2. Just 2. And climb up the ladder. Strike all the attacks, it's free. for this section, be patient. Before you run up this thing right here, make sure your stamina bar is at least filled up to 80%. Because this enemy needs to be a little bit out of the door frame, because sometimes he can do an attack which can slightly hit you if you don't get the fastest way past him. So make sure it's not in the door frame or in the building, a little bit outside, or at least there the mouse is, right? You can see here he's out, and now that's actually not the fast attack, but sometimes he can do half a round slash, which really looks scary. But if you're lightweight and in full sprint, you will always strafe this attack. Here, just run. Immediately strafe to the left side if you pass the enemy. Hit this ergo if you want. Here it's important to roll twice, because sometimes the enemy can hit you in the back. This enemy needs to be killed because he is a little bit in the way, so let's do some attacks on him. But try to do it as fast as possible, because the other enemies are close to your back. Here you only buy the electric caustic because it's needed for the upcoming sections, especially for Fuoco and Romeo. The punish attack on this dog. For this guy, kill him like you want. This item is needed because it's hidden moonstone again. There's also a hidden moonstone. Now it's the optional part. Dogs need to be killed because sometimes they can hit you on the ladder. You can pick up this item. It's also Radiant Ergo, I think. Yeah. And this guy's optional. If you don't want to do it, you can just run back to the ladder right, that I'm doing right after. Just to perform a table attack, charge the 2 into another charge the 2, repose, and he's dead. That's why I kill him. Sometimes he can drop a throwing cell or other useful consumables. And also, there's another Radiant Ergo which gives you 500 ergos. In the early game it's good because early levels give a lot of stats. And more stats means more damage. More damage means boss is a little bit easier. So I like to take this here. Yeah. Immediately go back to the ladder. To this butterfly to get another hidden moonstone. Make sure you have here full stamina. Run past this guy. And make sure you are lightweight, because lightweight means faster sprint. And here it's important to roll into this enemy, because sometimes the enemy behind here can do an attack which can hit you in the back. And this guy can also do an attack which hits you while you try to run past him. So the roll staggers him and cancels his attack. In the elevator you're safe. No enemy can hit you, but sometimes they come really close. That's why you can't lift the ladder or bring the elevator up. So sometimes just go backwards and press the button again. If the same message appears, just do it again. And yeah, after lifting the ladder, you can port back to the hotel. The lift is always up if you port back to the Stargazer. So now for the donkey fight, we fill up our Fable again and level up our electric stick to level 2. We don't need it now, but for the next part we need it. And if we go back to the hotel, we have to take the other Legion arm thing and talk to her little more, and it's unnecessary time loss. So just do it now. Save some dialogues. Go back to the Stargazer. Level at Sophia 14, 14 or 16 technique. It doesn't matter. I like to level 16, but in this run I did 14. Why? I don't know why. I think I misclicked or something. I recommend 16. The rest in advance. So we equip the glaive again. And for this fight, it's really important to use a Blitz Abrasive again. What we are doing for this fight is take the backstep right after the monologue and perform a charge tattoo right after. And the Fable attack. Sometimes before the Fable attack you can roll away and not all of your hits from the Fable attack will hit him, but you always get mini staggered after the last instant of the attack. So you're safe there. After the Fable attack you can also do an R2 for another extra damage, and now you have to wait until he's doing a slow attack so you can backstep him again. But for this, it's actually the perfect RNG. He's doing a slow attack, and we can easily dodge to his side and get the next backstep. We can finish him off with our Charger 2. And that's actually the fast donkey. I think if you have 16 technique, you don't need to do the last charge tattoo with the best damage roll. So it's even faster. That's why I recommend 16 technique instead of 14. Now we use the electric coil to kill this little dog, which can hit us while we're trying to run past him. And it's more safe and quicker to kill him with a running R2. I don't recommend to pick up this item, because sometimes it's just a star fragment or whatever it calls. It's useless. Make sure you are lightweight here, so easily can run past this puppets here. And collect the Puppet Murderer Amulet or Puppet Destroyer Amulet. Now equip your glaive again and the amulet. Prepare your weapon that it's full. Now into the boss room. Make sure you have one Fable slot active, like in the Parade Master fight, because we will use the Fable art again. And for this fight, most of the attacks that he does are double punishable. That means you can do 2 R1s after your Fable art. And some of them are triple punishable. If he mini stagger, you can do like 4 punishes. 3 R1s and 1 R2. And if you can see the white bar around his HP bar, you can riposte him, or stagger him, I should say, with the R2 combo. And what we want to try to do is make as much Fable slots as we can, that we can do more of the Fable R2 combos in the second phase to deal more damage and poise damage. So yeah, to have a much faster fight here, you know. Okay, here Fable art, R1, 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 2 R1s. Only just Fable art, R1, R1. Fable art, R1, R1. Stagger, now we can do an additional R1 and R2 right after. Fable art, now we have 2 Fable slots because we don't have, use the R2 combo yet. Okay, now you can see we can stagger this boss with the R2 or charge R2. Now we cannot stagger him with the R2, we can only stagger him with the R2 if we use the Fable Art before. I don't like to parry this kind of attack because it's a little bit weird. I don't know why. And now for this. Fable Art, R2, stagger. Now I perform instantly a charged R2 and a normal R2. And try to get the repose as fast as possible after that. Again, charged R2, step a little bit back. And now if you can see the lightning, you can immediately perform a next charged R2 because the hitbox of this lightning is really short, or the timing of this hitbox is really short. So you can do an early charged R2 for the grab, or dodge into him and perform immediately a charged R2 again. This is also a shit attack which I don't use the Fable Art. And now we can also parry this Fury attacks with the Fable Art. Now you can see I have 3 filled Fable slots, and now I use mostly the R2 combo. And for this, also in the second phase, only do the R1 combo, because if you do the R2, it's possible that the lightning on the ground hits you right after. So it's better to do the R1 combo. Your R2. Now I use the R2 because he is about to stagger. And I needed to roll instantly because of the lightning on the ground. Which was really close. Now the boss is dead. With the weapon, the boss is super, super fast to kill. It's really nice. Okay, now we're going back to the hotel and buy some stuff from Bolondina.
Welcome.
2 quarters and 9 or 10 cogwheels, which we need for later running section in this game. Talk to Geppetto. And make sure you skill the right P organs. That's the 8th Fable slot 1 P organ with 2 upgrades. First of all, the charge stagger attack 1 upgrade. And also the... That was fast. The lowers charge attack stamina consumption 1 upgrade. And for the next P organ link dodge, we use the Fable Art attack 1 upgrade and the increased ergo upon eliminating enemies 1 upgrade. Because we kill so much enemies in this game, it's really good to use this upgrade for extra ergo income. We also skill the second part of this upgrade later on in the run. But I think I messed up something in the run which was really weird. Because it looked like a bug. But we will see it later. Now it's time for Fuoco. Or at least the running section to Fuoco, inclusive the Puppet of the Future. Let's run to this door. Equip your electric coil. Run to the right side. Above this thing here. Jump over this little bridge. And for this enemy, most likely you can use the running R2 to kill him. But sometimes if you low roll damage, you don't die. So just do an R1 right after it. You can pick up this item. That's the Vivid Ergo. And same shit for this guy. And this one survived actually. Make sure you're lightweight for the next running section. Talk to the Riddler. Take the human answer. You get the first Trinity key of the run. You can also destroy this chest right here. And get an Radiant Ergo. pull this guy to you. They can spit at you. And for this one, it's really important. After or right before he throwing the thermite at you, try to do a hard curve to the right side to dodge or to strafe his attack. Right here. It's not that scary, just a little bit practice. You also can roll it if you want. But I strafe it because it looks cooler. And it doesn't take that much stamina from you. Drop in this hole to collect the Salamander Dagger out of this save. We will need it for the next bosses. Actually, the second weapon in the route we will use. Now just run the normal path. Make sure you're lightweight, because lightweight means faster sprint. Same thing for this guy here. Wait until he's about to throw the thermite at you. Do a hard curve to the right side. Straight this attack from this guy. Now make sure you don't hit this spot or this spot. I don't think exactly where it is, but sometimes you can be stuck here. That's why I did a little curve. Pick up this item, it's also an ergo. And for this part, just throw one cobwheel at this part or in this area of this arena to distract him, that you can easily run past this guy. So, now you take or equip your weapon and kill this butterfly. It's optional because it only drops a motivity crank, which is not useful for our route, but it's a little bit extra money, so I take it. And you're gonna do or activate the Stargazer and rest on it to reset the entire area. It's important for the next boss fight, the Puppet of the Future. Climb up the ladder, take the hidden moonstone on the left side. It's important for upgrades on the Salamander Dagger, that's why we take it. Activate the shortcut, equip your weapon, and collect some of the ergos that are lying around in this area. After we hit the spot right where the second hidden moonstone lies around, the Puppet of the Future will aggro to us, which is actually good because we wanna use the range attack from this Puppet of the Future to get between his legs and punish with charge tattoos. Sometimes he can do weird stuff and idle a little bit around, but just do it like me. We wait for his range attacks. That are two attacks. The spinning attack with his two arms and the one-handed slash attack. So run to his legs and perform 3 charge tattoos. Run back. Wait for the next range attack. And do the same again. And additionally to do a table attack to stagger him. Do a charge to again from the riposte and do 2 charge to 2 again. Now you can do whatever you want to finish him off. Normally you can do it with running R2s because that's quick and do a lot of damage. In this run I did 2 charge tattoos. This chest you can ignore if you don't want extra money. It's just 420 ergo. So don't need to collect this. But I did. So a little bit extra money. What you want to do is to port to the last Stargazer, not to the hotel. I misclicked here. That's why I skip a little bit forward. Okay. For this section, it's really important to be lightweighted. Otherwise, you can't reach the spots that I reach in, that I run in this section. You will skip. You won't get to this part if you're not lightweighted, because this will hit you. Because lightweight, you have a faster sprint, and with not lightweighted, it takes a little while longer to get to this spot here. This fireball will hit you sometimes. After the fireball, regen a little bit of stamina, like here between the second and third Faber slot. Run in the middle of this section here, that this guy is gonna hit, or does not hit you, and you easily can strafe to the left side of him. Run to the next Stargazer, that is on the right side of this area. And before you get to the Stargazer, make sure you pick up the hidden moonstone that is right here. Don't be afraid of this puppet, you can easily strafe all of his attacks. And right after the Stargazer, we're gonna go to the Trinity room and pick up the first quartz out of the Trinity room. We're gonna pick up 2 quartzes of the Trinity rooms, and that is the first one. So make sure you collect your weapon, or equip your weapon, and try to grab this enemy to don't aggro this and this enemy behind the corner. To do this is you can align with this stone thing here and use your puppet string on this puppet here. This is a good example that you can be out of range and don't hit it with the puppet string. In this case, go a little bit more forward, but not too much, like me. And this guy aggroed to me. But it's not the worst case, so we can easily kill both puppets with running a 2 into a 1. But make sure you don't puppet string instantly after you killed this puppet, because there's a bug that you can puppet string a dead body although you are locked on to another enemy. So make sure you go a little bit backwards before you try to hook the locked on enemy. Now let's run to the Trinity room, open it, and collect the quartz. And port back to the hotel. In the hotel, we will fill up our Fable slots, because we need 4 of them for the next boss fight. Just run in the training arena, dip in and run out. Sell everything we don't need, which are all the ergos. Expect the Fuoco ergo that is important for an amulet, which we gonna pick up later in the run. We don't need the motivity crank. We don't need the weapon that we pick up from the chest. Also, everything is optional to pick up. It's just a little bit extra money, which is nice. Here we're gonna level increase staggerable window 1 with the discharge quartzes. On the attack type, weapon attack when discharged 1. That means we get 10 extra % of damage if we discharge our pulse cells. The same thing on the stamina version, right here. That means we lose less stamina on actions like running, attacking, everything. So that is really nice. We take both and we level up to 21 advance, and I think 15 technique, yes. Or 16 technique if you leveled a little bit more in the early game. Depends. It's not really really important how much technique you have in this fight, because we're gonna use the electric coil for this. But it's really important to not get over 16 technique, because otherwise we can't reach the 30 advance at Andreus that we wanna have for the fight. To script the second phase. I think 29 is also good, or works also, but I never tried to be lower than 30 in the fight to get the script in the second phase. So make sure you have maximum advanced for this fight, like 30. Okay, for this fight, we discharge, equip the electric coil, and let's see. Yeah. As you can see, there's a spot where the shadow ends and the lighting begins. This is the spot where we activate our Fable art to get a little bit more extra damage on our attacks. This is the spot where Fuoco starts to walking at you a little bit faster. And there are, I think, three attacks that he can do. But he mostly do 2 attacks. The first attack is the Fury attack that he's gonna do in this run, I think. And the second is he do nothing and perform a charged 1-arm stomp, I think. Which has a follow-up. But we will see it later, I think. In this case, we always run to this right side and try to strafe the attacks. But in this case, he gave me the Fury attack. So we run backwards. Wait until the attack is finished. And we punish him with a charged A2. We need 4 charged A2 to refill our 3rd Fable slot. It's important. And also a good measurement to do the right amount of poise damage to him. So in this case, this is the attack that he can do at the beginning. What you're gonna do is strafe at the right side, and this attack will not hit you. But if you're gonna do this close to you, I don't recommend to strafe it. Just dodge to the right side. Perform a charge A2. Wait for the follow-up. Dodge it to the right side as well. And perform a charge A2 again. Important information. If you hit his back, you will do more damage and more poise damage to him. That kinda mess up the standard script that I have for him, but it's not really an issue for this fight. So that was the 3rd charge A2. Dodge the next attack and perform the 4th charge A2. So you can see the 3rd Fable bar is filled, and we can perform our Fable attack, but he is performing a follow-up attack, so we need to dodge this. And now we can use the Fable attack. This time I hit his back with the attack, so the damage was increased, also the poise damage was increased. So in this case we only need 1 charge A2 to get the big stagger. Most of the time you need 2. And if you have too much time between the 4 charge A2 at the beginning, you might need 3 charge A2 to stagger him. But most of the time, if you got the Fable attack in with the 2 charge A2s, he is in the phase 2 transition, and he is turning around a bit and try to do the Fury attack, which means you can easily get the 3rd charge A2 in. But sometimes he will attack you and do not the running attack. So just wait a little bit. You will see it if is gonna do the phase trans animation or attack or whatever. After the stagger, just do another charge tattoo and get the riposte. Sometimes he dies, sometimes not. If not, just do a running R2 into run a 1 or charge tattoo, whatever, to finish him off. And that is actually the boss fight. It's not easy, I should say, but more easy, more like scripted than other bosses in this run. Make sure you unequip your weapon if you want to do the drop. Otherwise, you will die to the fall damage because you need to be lightweight for this drop. Heal up. Take the fire canister for a later running section and sprint through this whole area. You can take this radiant ergo fragment if you want to. Now just sprint through this whole area because we don't need any items that are lying around here. At this part, there's the third thermite that we need for the Andreus fight, so make sure you collect or pick this up in this little house right here. Run back, extract this enemy, and collect here another ergo fragment. Here you have two options. You kill the first every time with melee attacks. For this butterfly, you can melee attack him, but sometimes he's a little bit too close to the barrels. But you can also lock on to the barrels and throw cogwheels on it so they explode and damage the butterflies really hard. You need 2 of these barrels to kill this butterfly, so make sure you hit this and this barrel to kill this butterfly. They have really wide AoE damage, so it's unusual that they miss the butterfly, but if the butterfly survives you can easily run to him and kill him melee, so it's not that an issue. Okay, what we're gonna do next is unequip the weapon and run to the next boss. You can, if you want, pick up the ergo fragment. It's just 100 ergo, but I did, so it's a little bit extra money. Extra money is worth it. What we're gonna do here is the backstab loop strat. You can do it if you're gonna run away from her. Right, if she's starting to run at you, you run counterclockwise to her. And she always do this acid attack at you, but always misses because she is attacking the spot where you have been earlier on. So it's easy to strafe. Right after the attack, you can do a little curve around her to get the backstab immediately. Right here. And you can also attack with a running R2 right after the backstab to deal just a little bit more damage. Sometimes the running attack can miss, but as you can see, she always does the same attack and you can easily get the next backstab in, so it's not a big issue. Yeah, do it like the whole fight. It's super free. You can also use the Fable art if you want to make it even quicker. I don't know why I haven't done it in this run, but you can do it for a little bit extra damage. But you don't need it, because the loop is so free. Also, it's not a big issue if you miss the backstab like here, because you will see the same attack again and again. Doesn't matter if you get the backstab or not. But sometimes she can also do a fury attack like here. In this case, just do a little bigger circle around her and just get the backstab like the other attacks as well. Yeah, and now you can finish her off. It's one of the easier fights, I should say. Okay. Now, most important thing in the run is the Gemini mute button. Because we turn the voice volume down because he talks so much shit in this section. It is super annoying. And I will skip this a little bit because this is... that takes a while. Yeah, what we're gonna do here is just sprint to the door here, door frame, and yeah, kill this kind of enemy. Do it a little bit faster here. Boom, boom, boom. There's another hidden moonstone that we're gonna take. And you sprint through this item. It's also arrow fragment. Don't be afraid of the zombies. If they're running at you and you're lightweighted, you always can strafe their attacks. They don't reach you. Here's a little bit RNG thing happening. Sometimes this guy here sees you while you're opening the door and walks towards you and even attacks you while you're opening the door. It never happened to me, but sometimes he can hit you and you're not able to dodge or something else. So keep in mind that this guy can fuck up your run. It's really, really, really rare. Most of the time you can easily roll away, but sometimes he can catch you in the right frame. But it never happened to me in, I don't know, 50 runs or more. I don't know. What you're gonna do on this bridge is we grab each carcass enemy one by one with our puppet string. Just do 2 R2s to kill them. And keep in mind there's the bug with the puppet string on the dead body. So just go a little bit back after you book the next enemy. Also there is a possibility to get here the 6th thermite for the Andreus fight, which is actually a huge impact on the run. Yeah, as you can see, I got it right here. So what you're gonna do here is bait a running attack from him, and if the attack is finished, we strafe at the right side. Always misses you, so it's free to strafe at the right side. Yeah. Just open the door, run to the Stargazer, activate it, and important, rest on it that you refill your Legion. It's important. I lost like 3 runs because if you try to puppet string an enemy and your Legion is empty, you are stun locked for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds. And then this time you can't literally do nothing unless seeing you dying. So make sure, be sure that your Legion is filled up. Just pick up here the ergo fragment. Make the drop. Don't get the heartful like me, because it sucks. Take the cat dust. We will need it later on in the run. And here, this guy is easily puppet stringable. That he falls down. This is the place I was talking about. If you perform a puppet string on this enemy and your Legion is empty, you will be hit 100% and the run is over. Make sure you throw 1 cogwheel at this carcass enemy right here, because it could maybe fuck up your fight with the other acid throw carcass right here. So yeah, just do it. What you're gonna do here is dodge into this enemy and perform 3 R2s to get the mini stagger. Sometimes the enemy dies, sometimes not. If not, just do a 4th one. You can drop for an extra Ego Fragment and also an extra in Moonstone. And make sure you don't jump too early, because if not, you will see what happened. Hop, hop. Oh shit. We drop down into all those enemies. Oh. What the hell? Okay, what we're gonna do here is just reset and do this section again. I will skip it. What we're gonna do for the next section is we run at the straight line on this ledge here to prevent that this acid throw behind the wheel here can hit us. So we run as fast as possible to this wall right here and stand close to it until the attack is over. Then run to the right side on the other ledge to avoid the next attacks from this guy. Same mission for the next carcass enemy. Just stay a little bit to the right side from this ledge, that the attack from the enemy can attack the position where we were standing after the animation. Then go over the ledge and run past him. For this section, you have 2 options. The first option is you wait until the lightning ball, as you can see here, immediately passes you and you sprint through this whole tunnel. Or you sprint to the halfway point of the tunnel and wait until the ball passes you, and you have to stay between these 2 wooden doors and make sure you don't move, because if you move, the ball will 100% hit you. So stand still, wait until the ball passes you, and run straight up into the next section. For this area, it's really simple. Just stay on the right side and just run past this enemy. Collect this aggro if you want. You can run over this wheel. Puppet string this carcass enemy. Drop this flaming pot. That you are able to get this puzzle in this room below the acid lake. And just go over this wheel as well. Climb up the ladder and get this Crescent Moonstone, which is also important for the upgrade. Make sure you use the leather or pull the leather for the elevator, because if you drop down here and you haven't pulled it, you have to do the whole section again. Drop this fire canister at this carcass, puppet string this carcass, kill it, and collect the Legion plug out of this chest. Because it's give us like 3,300 ergo, which is really nice in the early game. Now open the door and collect the item that you need for another quartz. And port back to the hotel right after it. In the hotel, we will refill our favor slot, buy an advanced crank. The technique crank is not needed for now, but you can buy it if you want to, because we need it later. Collect the item from Renini. Upgrade your Salamander Dagger. And also put the advanced crank on it. that the scaling of advance is increased. Make sure you get 30 advance. And port back to the cathedral. Just run to the elevator and use the shortcut. And here's important. You can see there's 2 wood sticks on the ground, which I use for a visual key. At this point, the enemy don't drop down, and I activate my Fable Art and run straight line behind this enemy. Make sure you are more on the left side than the right side, because sometimes if you're on the right side, he makes a 180 turn to you and blocks your attacks with his shield. So we stay at the left side, perform 8 R2s. At the 4th R2, he mini staggers. And do the other 4 R2s. And right after the 4th R2, perform a Fable attack, which kills this enemy in a wonderful explosion. Take the cred supply box. It's important to get an extra quartz. Activate the Stargazer and collect the 6 thermite. Drop into this hole because it's important. There's a butterfly which drops an advanced crank, which is needed for the next weapon we're gonna use in the route. Collect the Legion caliber, which is in the chest. Also extra 3000 ergo. Collect the radiant ergo. And if you want, you can kill this enemy on the bridge with 1 throwing cell and 1 or 2 cogwheels. So it's not that scary to pass this bridge. And this zombie right here. And collect the Fable Catalyst. There's a Crescent Moonstone, which is also needed. So collect this one as well. You can kill these zombies to get a little bit better timing on the next enemy. That you can run past him without seeing you. Collect this special resistance ampoule. Important for later on. Drop this fire thing. And collect the second Fable Catalyst. And now the cathedral running section is actually done. We take this ergo fragment as well. Activate the shortcut or open the shortcut. And we gonna port to the Stargazer before Donkey. Because we will grab the quartz from the puzzle that we got in the cathedral. Buy 3 throwing cells. That we have enough for the next running section after Andreus. Run to this hanging puppet right there. Or a cogwheel at it. And collect the ladder. Port back to the last Stargazer because there is the spot we have to open for the quartz. And yeah, collect it and port back to the hotel. We're gonna do the same like always. Refill your table. Sell everything we don't need. Buy the quartz. Level up to 16 technique. If you haven't already. The next organ that we're gonna skill is add 1 amulet slot. The next 2 P-organs are not that important because we only use 2 of them to unlock the 4th phase of P-organs. For the second P-organ, there was a little bug because I tried to select one of the upgrades, and I don't know why it skilled the Legion upgrade and not the one that I wanted to skill, which was the more ego level upgrade. So I don't know why this happened. Maybe I was a little bit too fast with the menuing, but this is actually bad because I lost like 3,000 or 4,000 ergo until I can respec my P-organs. So make sure you skill the right upgrade in this section. Not Legion upgrade, skill the more ergo part 2 upgrade. So what you're gonna do is the same for Fuoco. Discharge your pull cells and make sure you have 4 filled Faber slots and at least 2 Faber catalysts in your inventory. Because for phase 1 we will activate our Fable Art and instantly refill it with the Fable Catalyst. Andreus has 3 openings in his phase 1. The single tongue attack, the double tongue attack, and the stomp attack. Normally he do the single or the double tongue attack. In this case it was the single tongue attack. Just roll back or roll into him and punish once. If you roll backwards, if you roll or dodge into him, you can punish 2 times. We always punish with R2s. Most of his attacks are double punishable. Depends on your distance. If Andreus steps backwards and stands up and goes red, it means it's the first Fury attack, which you can strafe underneath him. After the Fury attack, sometimes it is possible that Andreus pushes himself back. And if you're standing behind him, it will safe hit you 100%. So make sure you run to his left side or his right side and wait for the follow-up attack that he might do after the Fury attack. So punish with a running attack right here. If he's idling, just do an R1 because it's a little bit quicker. And now you can see the second Fury attack if he stands up immediately and goes red. And the second one is only strafable if you go backwards. because it's a little bit faster than the other one. So make sure you can read both fury attacks. In the fight, we don't need to discharge your pulse cells again, but you can do it if you want for extra damage. I did not. For the phase 2, we have two options. The first option, if you don't get the 6 thermite from a rare drop, you throw 2 throwing cells and 5 thermites. 2 throwing sets first because of the blitz debuff for extra damage and poise damage. If you have 6 thermites because of the rare drop, you can throw 6 thermites at him. That should be enough. If he doesn't do the instant beam attack, you bait out this attack and run straight up to his left side to the other head. 1 or 2 R2s if you want. Strap it to the left side. Activate your Fable Bar and attack him like 5 times with an R2 into a Fable attack that he staggers and finish him off. Second phase is completely scripted. Now talk to Alidoro because you need the extreme modification amulet from the Watchman Ergo, which gives you extra damage for each filled Fable slot, which is in the late game 20% because we skill up to 5 Fable slots. For this running section, puppet string this dog and do a 1 R2 to finish him off. It's important to puppet string him because sometimes, or if you don't do it, he will hit you with a weird attack. So make sure you use your puppet string right there. What you're gonna do here is just run past this area and kill this zombie and the upcoming dog. Because behind this dog is a chest where is our third weapon of the run, or for the run. This zombie as well. Make sure you don't go instantly to this chest because he will hit you if you try to open this chest instantly. Just do a little curve backwards and let him fall, kill him, and open the chest. This chest is the Acid Spear, which is a really strong weapon because if we upgrade the handle with advanced cranks, we have an S scaling on the weapon, which is perfect for our route because we mostly skill advanced and technique. So for the late game, the weapon is actually one of the best weapons. Don't need to pick anything up here. Just make sure to stay at the right side. Let this enemy don't hit you. Refill your stamina. And run through this area. Over the bridge. Refill your stamina right after the bridge. And run into this corner right here. Or in this section right here. You need to be lightweighted that you hit the right spot at the right time. That this enemy right here don't see you. Now you throw a cogwheel in this section that this enemy is distracted and run towards this sound. Wait a little bit, run through this door frame. Now take the drop here. For the next section, it's important to refill your Fable slots because we will kill the bigger carcass enemy to collect the stamina amulet. That's why we go back to the hotel and refill our Fable slots. Make sure you have at least 2 throwing cells, because we need it. We also have to reassemble our dagger because we need more range for the upcoming section. So we have to combine the Salamander dagger and this acid spear handle to get a weapon which has more range. And we will also use it for the next 2 bosses. Kill these enemies with the puppet string and follow-up attacks. Sometimes they drop useful items, sometimes not. In this case, 1 useful, 1 not useful item. Make sure you pick up this Crescent Moonstone here. This Motility Crank is also optional. Kill this zombie. Make sure you discharge. It's also important to equip the Extreme Modification Amulet for extra bonus damage. We also get additional damage if we throw throwing cells at the enemy to get the Electric Blitz debuff. Sometimes you will miss the first throwing cell, so make sure you throw your throwing cell at the same time. The rabbits say, "You're idiots." So the first one will hit his arm. In this run, it was a little bit too late, so I missed him. That's why you should have a little bit more throwing cells. For this ladder, you should climb 70% of it and wait until the enemy is doing an attack. Climb up the rest of the ladder and wait for the attack to finish. Bait him with a cogwheel on the ground. Activate your Fable Art and do a plunge attack on him. After the plunge attack, do a once until he's dead. Boom. Run to this little house right here. Open the chest and collect the quartz. Kill this dog. Puppet string this guy and kill him. Also this guy. Now it's time to collect the second Trinity key, which we will need for the Trinity room before Romeo. In this section you can collect some more items like Ergo and Hidden Moonstones. This enemies with your puppet string and your weapon. Kind of free. This trap right here, as you can see, is 100% scripted. You can avoid it, so it doesn't count as a hit. Bait out this dog, kill him with R1s. Collect the Crescent Moonstone. And also the Fable Catalyst. It's optional. If you have enough, you don't need it. If you don't, then collect it. What we're gonna do here now is kill this zombie and bait out this enemy. Because it's not 100% safe to run past all of these enemies without getting a hit. So we're gonna leash this enemy. Make sure you only run out of this building if the enemy stands right there. Otherwise the enemy will de-aggro too fast. And you have to do this whole section again. Or at least aggro him again. So just run backwards until you see this guy runs out. Wait on this broken door. And wait for the enemy to start the aggro. In really rare cases, the enemy can do an attack which looks really scary, but it's enough to just run past him with lightweight. So now collect the next item. That's all ergo fragments, which are good because it's extra money. Open the door and go back to the hotel. Same thing as always, refill your favor slots. Sell everything we don't need. Or in this case, level up to 20 or 21 technique. Because of the bug, I only level up to 20 technique in this run. To have more ergo for throwables. Speaking of throwables, we will upgrade the next P organ with a reduce price upgrade to get 10% off for each item in the shop. It's super important for a run because we're using a lot of consumables and throwables, so really save some ergo. Port back to Melum District. Go to the merchant, or at least to the chest. Now sell everything you don't need, which is a lot. You buy from the elemental throwing cells 6 of each. And the other throwables like cluster grenade, sharp pipe, and shot put always 4. Hold back. Here it's important to make sure that this guy is going into the room and not stand here, because sometimes if he turns towards you, he can instantly hit you. That is why I've reset it the Stargazer to wait until the guy is walking into the room. Yeah, now collect or now equip the correct throwables. Now I realized I forgot to buy the sharp pipes. That's why I go back to the last Stargazer. Sometimes this enemy is just standing still. Just reset at the Stargazer and wait until he's walking into the room. Now it's important to select the correct throwables and discharge and collect the stamina amulet. Make sure you are lightweighted in this fight. I wasn't because of the handle of this weapon right here. You don't need the weapon at all in this fight. We only use throwables in this fight. So make sure you have the acid pods equipped. At the start of the fight, throw 3 acid pods at him. Strafe his attack. Sometimes he does the double-handed overhead attack, which has a super wide range. This has to be dodged. Just run away, wait for the little rabbit, and throw 4 sharp puts and 2 or 3 sharp pipes at her. Sometimes in a weird angle, 1 shot put can miss, but it's not a big problem. Just throw 1 more sharp pipe at her and she will also die. Wait until the acid debuff runs out and throw the rest of your acid pods at him. This triggers the second little rapid. We will throw 4 thermite at him. And he instantly goes back where he comes from. Throw the rest thermite at the big guy. The third rabbit appears. And we will throw all cluster grenades at him. And finish the big guy off with throwing cells. It's a little bit a weird fight because we only use throw builds, but trust me, the throw builds are really used for this fight. Collect the quartz out of the chest and go to the elevator. Okay, in a normal run without the bug, you don't need to reset your P organs. I did because I skilled the wrong one. So just go to Geppetto, talk to him, and use your quartz. So what you're gonna do here with the quartz you got from the chest, you skill change charge stagger attack 2 to deal more stagger damage with charge attacks. It's important to know that we will skip phase 3 P organs because they are clearly useless for this run. So we will skill 3 phase 2 and phase 1 P organs to unlock phase 4 because we need 2 P organs to unlock the next phase. So in this case, we will focus on phase 1 and phase 2. So we go to Antonia and grab the key, which we need for Rosa Isabel Street. And also go to Polendina and buy an technique crank if you haven't done it yet. Level our electric coil +3. If you don't have enough moonstones, buy one from Polendina. And also put on the technique crank, not the advanced crank, on the electric coil. Go back to Malum District and buy some more throwballs for the next running section and next boss. We will need 12 throwing cells, 9 acid pots, 6 thermite, 8 cluster grenades, and 6 shot puts. Go back to the hotel and open the door to the Rosa Isabel Street. Activate the Stargazer. Rest on it to skip Gemini. And equip all 3 amulets you have. And also the electric coil. Killing these enemies is not required, but I do it because they can drop moonstone crescents, crescent moonstones, and some Fable Catalyst. And also a little bit ergo. Not much, but a little bit. This one is need to be collected. Use a moonstone. We need it for more upgrades. Kill this guy. And now discharge your full cells. We have a little bit extra stamina on this section right here. Just do it like me. Run into the door frame. Kill this baby puppet with a charge R2 and a normal R2. Here it's an important thing with this attack. If he don't do a melee attack like he is not doing in my run, turn back the camera, look at him. If he's doing a ranged attack like here, you have to roll it because sometimes it can hit you. So make sure you turn back the camera. For the next fight we will also use a lot of consumables, starting with throwing cells. Start the fight to talk to the puppet right here. Go to the right side under this door frame and run up the stairs. Wait until the white lady passes the door frame right here. Lock onto her and throw 2 throwing cells at her. She will dodge to the left or the right side. For the first one it's not important because it always hits. But the second one can miss if she dodges to the other side. Like here. But it's not a problem. Just continue the script and throw 4 cluster grenades at her. If your second throwing cell missed her, you need to throw 1 throwing cell before the 6 acid pods to get the electric blitz debuff to deal more damage with the acid pods. And 1 shot put to get the stagger. Sometimes not all acid pod will hit her, so you have to pay attention to her HP bar. If her HP bar is below a third, you can use the debuffed weapon to kill her with an R2 and a Fable attack. If not, you should go behind her and run the script, so you can throw other throwing cells afterwards. You could also do a riposte if your HP is low, instead of a Fable attack, like here. This is option B. If her HP is a little bit higher than expected, just go behind her with the Fable attack. You always do this spinning dodge and you can finish her off with some other throwables. Collect the ergo fragments which are on the way and kill the butterfly for an extra moonstone crescent. Crescent moonstone. Run to the next stargazer, activate it and rest on it to refresh your throwables. Discharge your throwables and also change the weapon. Kill this one with a running R2 into R1. And now you have to log on to this enemy and throw a throwing cell on him. You can also do a plunge attack on him, but I missed the plunge attack a lot. That's why I started to throw a throwing cell on him. This enemy is simple. Just dodge the first stone throwing attack and perform a puppet string into 2 R1s. Same for this guy. This guy is easily to kill with running R2 into R1, like the first puppet. Throw 4 throwing cell Go on this guy, just strafe some of his attacks. Do a running R2 into a charged R2 to kill this guy. Kill those two puppets with charged R2s. Open the chest and collect the quartz. And port back to the Lars Stargazer. Do the same shit again. Discharge, kill this puppet. Now we're going the right side and kill this puppet. Like we did it with the puppet before. We need to kill this puppet as well. This also. Same for this one. For this puppet, just stand close to the wall and wait until she is passing the little stone corner here. Then do a puppet string and run past to the right side. Here it's important to regen a little bit of stamina before you get up there. You can easily strafe this attack. And here it's important, if you can see this guy here, here above is aiming at you. Do a roll to dodge this attack. You're running R2 on this puppet and run past this area. Now it's important to have at least... Now it's important to have 4 filled table slots for the upcoming section with the clown puppet. And run in a straight line to the clown. As soon as you hit the stairs right here, you throw 1 shot put to stagger this clown. Activate your Fable attack. Use a Fable Catalyst. And now throw 4 throwing cells at the clown. And 3 cluster grenades. And now perform a Fable attack to stagger him. For the riposte you can do an R2, not a charged R2, because it will be too much damage and you will stand up. And right after the riposte just perform a charged R2. Activate the Stargazer. Get rid of your weapon and the heavy amulet. That you are lightweight. Lock onto this puppet and puppet string her that she don't hit you while you're trying to run past her. For this section is also important on the right side, to run at the right side, that no puppet is blocking you. The disease buildup from this puppet right here does not count as a hit, just for your information. Open this chest for the technique amulet, which gives you +4 technique. It's not necessary, but good for a little bit extra damage. Come past the area, collect the Crescent Moonstone, open the shortcut, that's really important. And now open the second and last Trinity room in the run to collect an additional quartz. Now we're running to the next save and kill these 3 puppets with acid pods. Because it's free. Open the safe and collect the next Vinny collection, or the first Vinny collection. Because in this the Vinny collection is a amulet for extra damage on carcass enemies, which is important for this run. Really important. So we're going back to the hotel. Refill our fable. Sell everything we don't need. Which is not a lot, but a little bit. And now use your quartzes you got from the last running section. Increase Fable Arts effect duration on this P organ. Now we wanna have the second amulet slot, or the 4th, I should say, and we gonna skill weapon attack when discharged. So we have 20% extra damage when our pulses are discharged. And we're gonna skill less stamina consumption on ashes. It's nice to have, but not that useful for the run. But it's the best option we can use. So I forgot here to give the collection to Sinella and buy the Carcass Butcher amulet. Now it's time for Romeo. Romeo in this run is completely scripted, completely free. Don't have to be afraid of this fight anymore. Oh, I forgot we need to buy throwbits for this fight, which is really important for the script. So we buy 2 stacks of throwing cells, 2 stacks of carcass body fluid bottle, in short, acid pots. We buy 2 stacks of cluster grenades, 2 stacks, or at least 6 shot puts, and 8 or 9 thermite. What we're gonna do for this fight, we equip the electric joystick and the Watchman amulet. Discharge. Open the door. We will activate our Fable art and use instantly a Fable catalyst right after. And start throwing cluster grenades at the boss. 4 pieces, then 2 throwing cells, and right after we get the blitz debuff on the enemy or on the boss, we throw our 6 acid pots at him, which should kill him. Make sure you swap to the shot put before the cutscene starts. Right after the cutscene, make sure you throw your shot put and 4 throwing cells at him. The first throwing cell will stagger him, So you have enough time to throw 3 additional throwing cells at him. And right after that, he will attack you with his opening attack, which is a jump attack. As you can see here. And here you have, or the boss has 2 options. The first option is a fear attack that you can see here. It's a little bit more rare than the other one. And the other one is like, it does nothing. In both cases, you perform a Fable attack right here. And right after that, you attack him with a Charge 2 to stagger him. Before you take the riposte, do an additional one. Take the riposte. And now you can finish him off. If the damage is not enough to kill him with a running attack and Charge 2, he will always use his Fire Abrasive, which has a long animation. And this time you can do easily 2 or 3 Charge 2s. So it's an easy fight.
You defeated the king.
I'm good. I'm so now that it's a man of if it will.
For this running section, it's really simple. Just pick up some extra ergo and throwables, which are lying around here.
What's going on? All these puppets look utterly. Their king dead. They seem lost. And again, maybe they're warning him. Whatever's happening, it's like they can't tell their elbow joints from their tail sockets. I'm not even sure they can function without the king to guide them.
Kill both dogs, because they can aggro to you while you're opening the door. Make sure you unequip your heavy stuff, that you are lightweight. And here is important to grab this item and immediately ports back to the last Stargazer or the hotel, whatever. Make sure you go back to the hotel if you don't have enough Legion magazines. We will need at least 3 of them for the next running section. And if you want to, you can also buy the Moonstones. Quick information, if you don't want to have the second option for the Geppetto dialogue, you always have to say the truth, because if you lie, you always get a little bit humanity. And if your humanity is too high, you get the second option. And if you pick the second option, which refuses the dialogue, you always fight versus a nameless puppet, and that kills your run. Because if you don't practice that boss, you will obviously get hit to that. You need 7 hidden moonstones for the upcoming upgrades. We will need for Victor. Another important thing, reassemble your weapon to the Salamander Dagger Blade plus Salamander Dagger Handle, because we need the fast R2 of this handle to kill the exploding carcass enemies without getting hit by them after the puppet string. But we will see it now. Discharge your poo cells. Make sure you have the right amulets equipped, which is the Technique amulet, the Carcass amulet, and the Watchman amulet. Bait out the zombie Carcass here, kill him, and now make sure if you puppet string this enemy, spam your R2 button. If you don't spam your R2, sometimes the game don't take your input and you have a little bit delay between R2 1 and 2. And if you don't kill this enemy after the puppet string as fast as possible, he can do an explosion attack which does damage to you, and your run is over after this. So make sure you spam. I got hit once by this attack, but I had a little bit delay between the first and second R2. That's why I recommend to spam. That's important for this enemy. Now refill your Legion. You have enough for upcoming running section. Kill this guy with acid pods. Now change your weapons again. New amulets to kill these puppets. With a charger 2 right after the puppet string. 100% safe. If you don't kill them with a single charger 2, just do a R1 right after. This butterfly, you perform 4 R2s, then go back a little bit, wait for the explosion, and attack again. This is actually a little bit close here, but only for this run. Just throw 4 to 6 thermites and wait for the spinning attack from this guy. He will always do his spinning attack if he loses like a little bit more than half HP. And after the spinning animation, you can easily get 4 or 5 R2s in to finish him off. If it's not enough damage, you can easily off your weapon. Grab this Fable Catalyst. If you don't have enough, you need at least 2. Better is 3. Do this again with the puppet string and spam R2. Now make sure you are lightweight and run past this enemy. And it's important to run in this corner here, that this guy gets a little bit more away from the floor right here, that you easily can run past him. Kill this carcass with some R1s. I think you need 3 for her. Buy 3 thermites from this merchant. Make sure you collect the key. It's really important, because without the key you can't go through this door right here. Kill this enemy with thermites, because it's more safe. And now kill those carcasses with your puppet string and your weapon. Just bait them out, bait him out, and kill him. It's important to bait him out and don't run towards him. Because if you are too close to this carcass, he will attack you. So make sure, just bait him out, run a little bit back, and use your puppet string. Okay, for this part, it's important to have enough Fable. Really important. So, you equip all your damaging amulets, use your Fable art, and fill up to 3 filled Fable slots. Okay, now bait him out and throw 3 cluster grenades at him. After 3 cluster grenades, do immediately a Fable attack and a Charger 2. Take the riposte, and the enemy is dead. Make sure you pick up the wine bottle for the sub quest, that you get the Half Moon Stone out of it. Unequip all your heavy amulets. Be lightweight.
Exhibition theme was automatic puppets and City of the Future. The plan was to showcase and demonstrate the most advanced technology in Krot. But you know the rest. You can't
For this part, just collect the Ergo and the Recent Moonstone.
and now the whole city is an exhibition of a nightmare.
For this section, it's important to run at a straight line towards this enemy, because if you walk on the left side, he will block you and obviously will hit you. So make sure you run in a straight line to him. Right before this guy, you strafe to the left side to dodge his attack. Equip the Puppet Destroyer Amulet, also the Hunter's Amulet and the Technique Amulet. Reset the Stargazer to refill your Legion. For these puppets, we use the puppet string and then R2 and go away until he's doing an attack, because if we doing 2 R2s right after, he will block the second one, and that is not good because he can always hit you right after it unless you parry or dodge it. And for this puppet, we will need 4 throwing cells to kill him. Don't need to kill him, but I like to kill all enemies here, because if I drop down in the next section, it's not an instant hit. Just a little bit safer. So collect these items. Here's a really important one, Half Moon Stone, which we need for the upgrades on the Acid Spear. For this section, make sure you throw 1 acid pot at this puppet to kill him. Run straight up to this puppet here and kill him with a running R2 and R1. Wait between this thing and this edge here. Aggro this guy. Wait for his charge attack. Run backwards. Run a circle and make sure you run not straight to this corner, just a little bit more to the left side. Do this butterfly for a little bit extra ergo. You don't need to do this, but I like to do it. Put on the ladder, open the chest for the next quartz. Climb up the ladder again. Get the upcoming puppet with your weapon or with throwables. Depends on you. Unequip your weapon that you are lightweight. Bait out this big puppet like the other one as well. Run to this section right here. Wait for the puppet to reach this spot right here. Wait for his charge attack. Now run past him. Run until you hit this spot right here. Lock onto this enemy and throw your acid pods right after you hit this spot right here. Immediately drop and instant roll, because sometimes the other puppet can throw a throwing cell at you. Collect the shot put right here and wait until this puppet right here awakes. Hit it with 2 throwables of your choice. In my run it was thermite. Run against this door right here, because the collision box of this door goes away before the puppet destroys it. So this also doesn't count as a glitch. Kill this guy with puppet string and a weapon of your choice. And make sure you are lightweight for the next running section, because we need to be fast. Ignore this mini Victor boss, mini boss, whatever. Open the chest to get the next cred collection or cred supply box. Activate the shortcut and go back to the last Stargazer. Now we will go back to the Rosa Isabel Street, because we've collected the wine bottle for the Half Moon Stone. And make sure you equip your weapon if you wanna kill this guy, because sometimes he can hit you. And he also can drop some useful items. And sell everything you don't need, which is a lot, or should be a lot. Now make sure you buy 10 thermite, 2 stacks of, or 14 throwing sets, because we will skill throwing possession limit 2, which means we can hold 7 throwing cells or throwables. Yeah, 7 throwables. Same for the acid ones. Make sure you have 2 stacks of the cluster grenades and the shot puts. And go back to the hotel. Talk to Pulcinella. Get your Crescent Moonstone and your Half Moonstone. Refill your Fable and level up your Acid Spear to +8. also use the advance handle on the acid spear and also upgrade your electric coil to +5.
No matter where broken, no matter where broken, this I shall open.
Give Polendina the collection,
Broken,
buy the quartz and some cogwheels if you need it. Level up to 24, 25, 23. Technique depends on your ergo economy. For me, it's just 23 because I lost some ergo at the beginning because of the bug in this run. So make sure you skill throwing object possession 2 to unlock the 4 amulets P organ, and now go to the add fable slot 2 P organ and skill enhance fable arts attack 2. Also make sure that you have at least 3 fable catalyst, because we will need 3 of them in the next fight. Here it's important to bait out an attack from this puppet and strafe to the left side. This guy don't follow up you to the ladder right here. And also make sure you are lightweight, so your sprint is faster. Okay, now for Victor fight. Discharge your pulse cells. Equip your acid spear. Equip your Watchman amulet, your extra ergo amulet, your extra technique amulet, and your extra stamina recovery amulet. Use your fable art. Immediately use 2 fable catalysts and enter the boss room. Do it as fast as possible because the fable art ticks down while you open the door and in cutscenes and whatever. So make sure you are fast. The boss will always run at you at the beginning of the fight. So make sure you run a little bit towards him, get the lock on, and straight up run to the left side. Do a little curve into the wall right here. And immediately do your fable attack. So he will like do his backhand attack. You throw 1 throwing cell at him. And now throw 3 more. So he gets the blitz debuff effect. Watch to his left side of his next attack. And throw 5 cluster grenades at him. You will stagger once. And immediately throw a shot put to get the stagger. Do a charger 2. Get the repost. Use your fable catalyst and your pulse cell. Activate your fable again. And do a charger 2. Phase 2 is a little bit more complicated because he has 3 different openings. The first one is an idle opening. The second one is a dash run opening. And the third one is a only run opening like here. And in this case you want to do a big counter-clockwise circle. And those attacks, like this one, don't hit you. If he's going to use this attack, he will dodge backwards, do 2 or once, 2 times. And the third one you dodge into him and throw acid pot or thermite or whatever, or just run away. Depends how confident you are on the fight. On this attack, you need to dodge to the left side, to 1 R1 or 2. I recommend or at least 1 or only 1. If he cancels his run animation and goes into this right-handed attack, make sure you dodge into the left side from your perspective to dodge it, and immediately do 3 R1s after it. 1, 2, 3. You will back up. You also can back up and run a little bit backwards. Wait for this attack and do 3 or 4 R1s again. So if you do 4, it's a little bit close to the next attack, so I recommend 3. Now the same attack again. 1, 2. Dodge. 1, 2. Dodge. Throw acid pot. Dodge left. 1, 2. He staggers. Go away from him. Now you can finish him off. Robots. Let me explain something more in detail. This attack right here, the running attack, has 4 different follow-ups, but 3 of them are dodgeable or strafable if you do the big counter-clockwise circle. Make sure it's a really wide one, because if you're too close to him, the kick that you saw earlier in this fight can hit you if you're too close to him. So make sure it's wide enough. The second one is the Fury attack. This is more easy to dodge because this doesn't have a follow-up attack. The third one is a little bit more dangerous because it has a really wide follow-up range attack. So make sure after you see this attack, go far away from him. I lost a run once to this one. And the last one is, as you can see, where he cancels his attack and goes into this right-handed punch attack. At the end of the boss fight, make sure you select the monster option, because we always say the truth. If we don't say the truth, we increases our humanity, which causes an extra option on the last dialogue in the run, and a potential misclick to lose the run after the last boss. Give a gold fruit coin to the red fox. It's important. We need 3 in the whole run, so don't sell everything. Make sure you have at least 3 gold fruit coins. And you don't have any troubles. For the next running section, it's important to equip the electric coil. And also change your Watchman amulet to the Puppets Destroy amulet. Discharge your pull cells. Select your throwing cells. Strafe this enemy. Here it's really important to lock onto this barrel first and switch then to the dog with the left stick. Because if you're trying to get the lock on the dog first, sometimes you might get the barrel first, sometimes you get the dog. It's so RNG heavy, so it's really, really, really good to lock on the barrel first, then switch to the dog, so you easily can kill him with a throwing cell. You can collect this ergo if you want. You don't have to be afraid or scared of the puppet behind you. It always de-aggros at this point, so it's free to pick up this item. Puppet string this dog and perform a R2. So you will die. Make sure you get far away from this barrel here, because sometimes if you stay too close, this barrel will hit you when you try to puppet string this guy here. So you run towards this enemy here. And immediately, if he is starting to aim at you, you have to use your puppet string. The first puppet string detonate the barrel. The second puppet string pull them towards you, and you can kill him with the R1. Same with this dog, a puppet string and R2. Make sure you avoid these traps right here. Collect this ergo. Same for this dog, puppet string and R2. Wait here until the ball is passing by you. And now, immediately if the clown here is starting to attack you, throw one shot put at him. So he staggers. Run past him. This attack will never hit you if you're not our heavyweight. These puppets are easily to stagger with a roll into them. So do it like this. Always kill this puppet, because there's range attacks. Roll into this puppet as well, and this one as well. Now you can unequip all heavy amulets and weapons that you are lightweight. Don't need any of this amulet right now. Talk to Alidoro and get the God Arm amulet. Arm of God amulet. Don't need to kill any of these enemies. Make sure you don't hit this trap. Right after this part here, run straight up to the right side. Here's a trap and here's a trap. Be careful. Take the ergo fragment. Not needed, but always good to have a little bit more of money. For this enemy right here, we do the same like the puppet before. Throw a shot put to get the stagger, run past him. Talk to this puppet right here that triggers this puppet to re-aggro. Activate the Stargazer, rest at the Stargazer. Equip your Salamander Dagger. Discharge. And equip your Carcass amulet. Make sure you're lightweight. Also can equip your Thermite because we will use it in a second. Don't need to collect any items for now in this swamp. For this section, just puppet string those carcass enemies. If they drop something useful, take it. There's also an extra Crystal Moonstone right here, which is also good. And always kill those carcass enemies with a running R2 into normal R2. They're never gonna hit you if you attack them immediately. Here it's important to be lightweight, because if you're not lightweight, you can't get the whole running section without get hit by this ball here. So make sure lightweight. Here you throw one thermite at this carcass and one thermite at this carcass. Wait for the next rotation. Kill this butterfly because it drops a half moonstone. Wait for the ball right here. Roll down. Wait for the next ball. Now kill the next butterfly because it also drops a half moonstone. this carcass and the next one with puppet string and melee attacks. And also pick up the items that they drop. And now sprint through this whole area until you get to the ladder. Say it again, make sure you're lightweight because of the sprint speed. Now backstep this puppet here. And finish him off. Destroy this cannon right here. Let this don't mess up your fight with the Puppet of the Futures. Pick up the Crescent Moonstone, drop down, and run to the next Stargazer.
Oh, an earthquake! That came from the direction of Cloud Central Station. Oh, it's gonna be bad, pal. Really, really bad.
Or to the Stargazer, which is at the swamp. Collect your electric coil and your damaging amulets. Also the hunter's amulet to get more ergo from the enemies. Discharge your full cells. And now it's time for both Puppet of the Futures. Kill this enemy because he will enters your fight with the Puppet of the Future. Throw 2 acid pods at the Puppet of the Future and wait until it's close to you. Here I did a little mistake. Make sure the puppet is not in the swamp, so you don't get corrupted by the swamp. It's not a hit if you get corrupted, but you are discharged and yeah, you can't heal up. And if you don't have the potion to get rid of the corruption, you will die. And to prevent this, I had to port to the last Stargazer, and now I will skip this part. But the Puppet of the Future don't respawn, so in this case we don't have to kill the second one. Kill this guy again. Speed up the VOD a little bit. Kill this guy, and now do acid pods. Wait until he's over the away from the swamp. Bait out the attacks, like we did it in the first Puppet of the Future fight. We need 7 charge tattoos to stagger him, which means we need 2 ranged attacks to stagger him. Actually, there is an attack that is similar to this attack right here, but it's way faster. In this case, if you got the fast attack, just do 2 or 3 charged attacks and bait out the next ranged attack. It's more safe because you won't get the 4 charged attacks in. Now we run at the left side of the swamp because we don't want to aggro all the crawler puppets. So we run this way and go to the chest. Kill this puppet with a Fable attack. This with a throwing cell. And the crawler that's right behind us also with a throwing cell. Collect the collection. And go back to the hotel. Buy both grindstones. the Destruction Grindstone and the Satisfaction Grindstone. Also the a Transformation Amulet, which gives you more advanced stats or levels. Level up your Salamander Dagger to +8. And use your quartzes that we got from the Puppet of the Futures. Which is... lowers weapon durability consumption when weight is increased. And also skill... the special grindstone increase effect duration. Which means our special grindstone affects even longer. Which is really good. Okay, go buy some throwables. First level up to... oh. And make sure you have enough Fable Catalysts. You also need 3. Refill your Fable slots to 5 filled Fable slots. And... level up to 9 capacity. Yeah, 9 capacity. It's important. We need 13 capacity at the Brotherhood fight. So make sure you have this leveling pattern correctly. We go to Malum District and buy some throwables. We only buy 1 stack, so only a few throwables. Reassemble our weapons. We need to assemble the Salamander Dagger and the Acid Spear handle. Because the scaling is better now. We have now an S scaling on the weapon. Discharge your full cells. Equip your damaging amulets. Activate your grindstone. Activate your Fable. Refill 1 Fable Catalyst. Go into the boss fight. Immediately use the second catalyst. And run a bit towards the enemy. Wait for an attack. There's actually 2 different openings. The first one is the running fury attack, which I explain later. And the second one is the tunnel digger attack, which you can see here in this run. And what you're gonna do here is wait until he has dug into the ground, run backwards, roll this attack, do 6 R1s for the mini stagger, then do 3 additional ones, run with him, and now you have to react on all attacks. Most of them can you dodge. Some of them, or at least 1 fury attack has to be parried. Let's talk about this attack right here. Here's really important to have a decent distance to him, because not only the arm has a hitbox, also the body. And if you stand too close to him, the hitbox might hit you earlier. That's why the dodge timing is a little bit different. And I also recommend dodge to the left side. It's also a combo attack, so you will see at least 1 follow-up attack, which can be the fury attack that I was talking about earlier. But it could also be the third one. But in my run, I cancelled the combo attack with a stagger. In this situation, you can easily discharge your pulse cells for phase 2. This attack is easy to recognize if he shakes with his head. In this situation, you want to run into him, that his feeler don't hit you. For the second phase, at the beginning, we walk a little bit backwards and throw immediately 3 throwing cells. Right after 3 cluster grenades to get a little stagger. Right here. This is a good timing to throw additional 3 acid pods at him. Right after this, you throw 2 or 3 sharpwoods at him to get the big stagger. Sometimes you might see the crawl attack like here, and sometimes you see the jump attack. In both cases, you're way too far away from him that he can hit you. Just activate your Fable Art. Go to the enemy, take the riposte, or do a R2 before the riposte if you have enough time. Use your Fable attack for more damage. Then do additional 3 R1s if you have enough time. Dodge the next attack. Most of them can be strafed to the right side. If he does this crawling attack right here, you can easily go a little bit back and throw a lot of consumables to finish him off. For the second opening in phase 1, you do the same. Run backwards, wait until this attack stops. Do 4 or 6 R1s, depends on your timing. And after this, the fight is the same like the first opening. Let's get to the next running section, which is the Walk of Illusion running section. We go back to the hotel or back to Malum District and buy some new throwables. Because we need a lot of throwables for the next section. Don't sell the aggro of the green monster because we need it for the amulet. You have to buy 2 stacks of thermite, 1 stack of throwing cell, 1 stack of acid pods, 2 stacks or a little bit less of cluster grenades, and I think sharp put is 1 stack enough. But you can buy even more if you want to. I like to have a little bit more of throwables to back up a little bit if something goes wrong, or to have a backup if something goes wrong. Okay, go to Alidoro and buy the Green Monster Amulet, which gives you the ability to dodge fury attacks. Now go back to the... refill your Fable slots as well. And go back to the Green Monster Stargazer. It's important to switch your grindstone to the crit grindstone. And also reassemble your weapon to the Salamander dagger and handle, because it's a lot faster than the acid spear handle, at least for the R2s. Run past this whole area. You don't need to kill any of the enemies. And skip all of those enemies. Also the Stargazer. Run to this ladder right here, where this enemy is climbing up. And now wait for this exploding carcass to go out of the terrain. Sometimes you do this exploding attack, like here. Make sure you have a good distance to it, that it doesn't hit you. Make sure you're lightweight in this running section, because now you have to sprint through this whole terrain. Go a little bit on the right side, that this enemy don't blocks you, and you have to roll into this enemy that you cancel his attacks. His attack. Run up the stair. Make sure you are between this thing and this thing above here. Wait, let me get a little bit back. I can see it a little bit better. This and this and this. You need to stay at this spot because these things are drop down and and does damage to you. That would be a hit. So make sure you are on the right place. Then throw a cluster grenade at this enemy. You will stagger. Now drop down and wait for this scorpion enemy. You can equip your these enemy amulets. More advance, more technique, more ergo, and more damage to Carcass. Now you sprint through this area here to this ladder. Never got hit by the scorpion. Sometimes it looks close, but it isn't close. And now throw 7 thermites, 5 acid pots, and you can also use this kind of throwables if you have it. I got it from drops, that's why I use it here. Normally I don't use it, but it's better to sell it, you know. And now it's important to get rid of all your amulets to get lightweight. Now we have to sprint the whole way here to avoid this NPC boss. Robber Weasel. Also, it's important to be lightweight because this guy can hit you if you're not lightweight. So make sure you are 100% lightweight here. Ignore this butterfly here. And pick up the cat dust. So we have 3 cat dust right now. We only need 1, but the other 2s are just backup. Ignore the Stargazer because sometimes if you're trying to activate the Stargazer, the Robber Weasel enters the area and attacks you while you activate the Stargazer. And you can avoid it. So I completely skipped the Stargazer. You can collect this item here, but you don't need to. Just run through this area. Same for this enemy, like in the Arcaden. Puppet string and immediately to do two R2s. Same for this guy. Now for this big carcass, we equip our damaging amulets. Also the hunter's amulet to get more ergo. Use the crit grindstone and your fable. Throw 4 cluster grenades at him. And 1 or 2 shot puts. 2 R2s. The post. And finish him off with R2s. Careful for this guy here. Just 1 R2 and he's dead. Activate the Stargazer and rest the Stargazer to refresh your throwables. Talk to the merchant and buy all throwables that you have. Because it's much cheaper compared to the other merchant in the Marlem district. Also make sure you discharge your pull cells. And now it's time to use your your special resistance potion to avoid disruption from this yellow crystals here.
The workshop's transportation base close to Kron's central station.
Throw 3 thermites at this guy here. Run into this corner, collect this shot put, and make sure you are a little bit close to the core, to the edge here, that you can throw a thermite at this guy. This guy will aggro. Also this guy will aggro. Both, I know at least the big guy will de-aggro and walk back to his original position. This guy drops and you can throw another thermite at him and kill him. Now you need to wait until this big guy is past this corner right here. And you turn back and run to this bridge right here. Wait a little bit. If this guy looks at you and aggro, you can throw 1 cluster grenade at him and he will stagger the whole time. It's just backup. But most of the time he goes back to his original position and don't look at you. So it's free. Equip your damaging amulets. Refill your fable at 4 just for backup. Use your quick grindstone and your fable. Throw 3 cluster grenade at this boss. 1 shot put or 2, depends. And now just spam R2. If it's too close, just use the fable attack. But most of the time you will kill him before he stands up. Now activate your the Stargazer. And unequip all your heavy amulets. Now for this section, make sure you have your cogwheels ready. And I try to explain it. I usually try to get my left foot on... wait a second. My left foot on this stone right here. And my right foot on this shield right here. Then I try to align my head to this stair. And try to hit with my cogwheel like on this part right here. This guy above the stairs come down. It's a little bit tricky, but we'll get the right angle. Make sure you go a little bit on the right side that this guy don't aggroes to you. Then run and go up the stairs. This segment here, make sure you go up the left side. That this guy don't blocks you if you're gonna walk to the right side. And open the chest and get the last collection or the Polendina shop. Climb up the ladder. Grab this item if you want and sell it for extra money. Kill this guy with an acid pot. Activate the shortcut and go back to the hotel. Refill your fable slots. Buy the quartz from the collection. Or the supply box, I should say. Set everything you don't need. level up to 28 technique if you haven't done it yet. And now use your quartzes. There's only one, and you can use it on a Fable Artifact Duration R2. Which means your Fable buff on your weapon holds even longer. Make sure you have enough Fable Catalysts. I always try to have a full stack before a boss fight. Now get to the Melon district and buy some throwables for the next two fights. Because after the Walk of Illusion fight, we are not able to port to the Melon district unless we kill the corrupted Parade Master. That's why we buy like 1.5 stack of Thermite, 1.5 stacks of throwing cell, or 2 stacks, depends how much you want to use. 1 stack of acid pods, 2 stacks of cluster grenades, and yeah, at least 1 stack of shot put. But normally you don't use shot put that much. Okay. Now we go to the last Stargazer, the collapsed streets. Walk up the ladder and wait a little bit to that this enemy don't see us. Discharge your full cells. Make sure you equip your damaging amulets and your hunter's amulet, Arm of Gods, Watchman amulet, hunter's amulet, and human amulet, which you got from the Scorpion in the Grand Central Station. So use your Grid Grindstone and activate your Fable. And now throw 4 throwing cells at the Walk of Illusion, and 4 cluster grenades, and then 3 acid pods. And finish the throwable section with a shot put to stagger her. Run towards her and attack with R2s. And right, she is casting the clone of her. Use your Fable attack and finish her off. I did 1 R2 too much, that's why the clone appears in this run. Just wait a few seconds and throw 1 shot, but if she gets too close, and run a little bit back, so you get a little bit more distance to her. Now change the humanity amulet to the carcass amulet. Now collect some throwables and half moon stones, important. Activate the Stargazer. Rest of the Stargazer. Kill those carcass enemies. Now it's important to use the second resistance impul. Don't get disrupted again, or just get disrupted from the crystals. I destroyed this crystal because I don't want to use more Fable catalysts as needed. Now make sure you have at least 4 Fable slots filled.
Oh no. Hey,
Discharge your full cells. You can grab this item right here if you want to. It's just a little bit more ergo, but make sure you don't stand here and do stuff, because there's an enemy which aggro to you right after the pickup. So if you want to do something, do it right before the boss room. I use the crit grindstone and immediately run in the boss arena. Throw 5 thermites. Dodge the first attack to the left side. And right after it, perform a Fable attack. If he does the second swing of his attack, he will always do this attack. If not, he will do a different attack. But you always use your thermite after this attack. And then some throwing cells to get this effect on. After this, you throw your cluster grenades to kill this guy and get a huge chunk of poise damage on this guy, on this enemy, on this boss. And throw like 3, 4 shot puts to get the stagger. And now you can finish him off with melee attacks, or you finish him off with throwables. It's your decision if you want to.
So what's happening now? Let's get back to the hotel and our friends.
I'll just go back to the hotel.
Oh, give me a sec. I'm sorry, child. Geppetto has been kidnapped. I'm sorry, I certainly don't believe this.
Talk to Antonia and Vinini. And now use your last... Oh, not the last... Oh. Not the last. Use your boards on consumable possession 1 or 2. Whatever. That you can hold for Fable Catalyst. Level up to 13 capacity, which is needed for the next fight. And now go to the next section. We need one more half moon stone to get our or to level up our acid spear to +10, which means we go straight up to the next segment and kill the 3 butterflies here. There's the half moon stone, and there's some extra materials which we can sell for extra money. Go back to the hotel, upgrade your weapon. And sell everything you don't need. 1, 2, and +10. Now go back to Melon District and buy at least 1 stack of each throwable. Thermite, throwing cell, acid pot, cluster grenade, and shot put. Now we are ready to enter the boss fight of Brotherhood 2. So make sure you collect or equip the correct arm, Legion arm, and select the crit grindstone. It's important to use following amulets: Watchman amulet, Victor amulet, Green monster amulet, and the puppet, murderer puppet amulet. And with 13 capacity, we have 59% weight load, which means we are not heavyweight, but not lightweight. We are normal weight, which is important for this fight. Really important. Don't miss the 13 capacity here. Okay, what we do here, we wait until this guy here is a little bit away from us. And drop here and immediately join the boss fight. Sometimes the dog can chase us, but never gonna get up to us. So for this fight, we always want to kill the puppet string rabbit first. So we throw 3 acid pots and 1 thermite at him in 2 of the 3 openings. The third opening where the puppet string guy is active, we do it a little bit differently, but I'll show you this a little bit later. So after this, we run in a circle clockwise to strafe most of the attacks from the active rabbit and the throwables and the puppet string. Speaking of puppet string, you wait until he does this attack. And for the little rabbit, we also have to wait more compared to the spear rabbit, because she's really quick and don't give us much time windows for throwing thermites at this puppet string guy. So wait until the guy switches and easily throw 2 or 3 thermites while they change the active status. You can also punish more if the spear rabbit is active, so the spear rabbit opening is the best you can get, because you can easily one cycle the puppet string guy.
Should I break his neck or his arms first? I'll take your request.
After you finish the puppet string guy and the little rabbit is active, you throw 3 or 4 cluster grenades at her and 1 or 2 shot puts to get the stagger. 1. Be careful for this throwable from this guy here. So don't be too greedy. This was a little bit too greedy, but it worked. Take the riposte, and if this guy's don't stand too close to the little rabbit, you can also do a charge there too. But I haven't done it because he was too close. Normally you can take the backstep here, but I was too far away from this guy, so I didn't take it. That was weird. Now you throw your last throwables at this guy, or wait until you can backstab her. Only 1 backstab, because we don't want to kill... Because we want to kill both at the same time. Because fighting the big guy with 1 little rabbit is a huge nightmare. Now we throw our last throwing cells at the spear guy. And wait until they change again. Take the back step. You can also do a little bit more once before. Kill him, and now throw immediately your last throwing cells at her. Take the crit grindstone and also the fable. Wait until the guy stands near to his sword. Because if you go too fast to him, you can get staggered from this explosion here. And do 7 or 8 R1s. If you are too close to his back, he may do a different opener, which you can see here. Which is not really one for the nuke. But I will show you the nuke in the second try with the puppet string rabbit opener. So here, just run away, wait until he's doing a slow attack right here. And finish him off. In the second opening, we throw immediately 3 acid pods and 3 cluster grenades. Walk to the right side. Wait until he passes the sword right here for 1 shot put. Wait until both of them throw their shit. 2 cluster grenades and also 2 or 3 acid pods to finish him off. For second phase, we also use the crit grindstone and the fable art. Wait for the big guy. Do 7 or 8 R1s. In the front, in the face. Dodge backwards, dodge to the left side of this attack. Do 3 additional R1s, dodge to the left side. Fable attack, staggers, and 3 more R1s, and he's dead. Now run to the chest. Grab the Venini collection that we can buy the perfection grindstone.
Just don't kill me.
It was a total attack. The Black Rabbit.
You can also pick up this item. It's a little bit more money.
Alidoro too.
It's not important for the late game, but
Think how this way must lead to their
you can do it if you want.
Hey, look! That lever resembles. Yes, it seems we can use it to call the submarine. Listen, pal. Nice landing, but let's not make it a habit.
Run through the next area and collect the ergo. Which we get if we talk to the memories on the way to the next Stargazer. Right here. It's actually a lot of ergo that we get here. But we skipped the last one because this one don't give us any ergo. Only humanity, and we try to avoid humanity. Going back to Random District and buy some new consumables. Throwables. At least 1 stick per throwable. I think only cluster grenades and thermite we buy a little bit more because we use it more in the upcoming running section. That's why we buy a little bit more. We will refill our fable slots and also Give the collection to Pusinella and get the perfect grindstone, perfection grindstone. And buy a little bit more of Fable Catalyst. Make sure you have the quick grindstone ready, and we reassemble our weapon to Salamander Dagger and Acid Spear handle, because it's the best way to kill Door Guardian in a kinda scripted way. We also use the last quartz on stagger duration. It's nice to have, but not mandatory. Can also sell this quartz, but I think more stagger duration is good for the upcoming fights. So we use it for this. Discharge your pull cells. Run in a straight line towards the stairs here. A little bit left and right to dodge this cannons here. Looks close, but it's not even close. Run up to the stairs. Make sure you're lightweight as well. Now equip your damaging amulets, which is Watchman Amulet, Victor Amulet, Advanced Amulet, and Carcass Amulet. Use your Crit Grindstone, your Fable Art, and one Fable Catalyst to have 16% extra damage. Now what you want to do in this fight is get 10 R1s on this leg. Try to dodge every attack he's gonna throw at you. After 10 R1s he will stagger. After that we perform 2 charge tattoos. Use your pull cells. Post 2 charge tattoos. And now try to get 4 R1s into this leg again. Now he will do 2 different attacks. This is the good RNG. After this attack, we dodge it and attack 2 times with our 1. And immediately do the Fable attack right after. And he will stagger again. And is dead. Here's a quick example for the bad RNG. After the 4 R1s, he does this Fury attack. Walk or run to the right side. Try to be as close as possible to him. Prevent this rolling attack. Rolling attack is really hard to parry or to roll. Actually was bad RNG, but I nailed it. But it's also really quick compared to the good RNG. But it's a little bit more spicy. This opener is really rare. I saw it in practice like 4 or 5 times. And I did this boss like, I don't know, 200 times for practice. So it's really, really, really rare. Gee. This section, we're gonna use 2 cluster grenades each carcass on this section here, and try to avoid the cannon. Try to get the aggro from this guy, bait him a little bit out of this section here, and try to throw at least 6 thermites at him. Sometimes one misses. Make sure you not to be too greedy, like here. It was really close with the cannon right here. And after 6 or 7 thermite, this guy dies. What we're gonna do now is we go back and go above the bridge. And climb up the ladder, select the throwing cells and kill this carcass right here. Now it's a little bit tricky. We kill this guy with 2 throwables. And now we don't go up down the ladder. We go like the mid part of the bridge and immediately turn backwards to bait 1 cannon shot out and go into the corner of this section. Wait until this guy is walking towards us. Throw 2 throwables of your choice. And now run past this cannon. Wait. Actually, you need to wait this cannon shot. Because if you go immediately, this cannon shot can hit you. And after that, the cannon can't even hit you anymore. If this guy is blocking the stairs, you have to kill him with throwables or melee. Whatever you want. And now comes the most RNG part in this run, I would say. Most of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't. I got hit 1 time in the run. I lost 1 run to it. So regen a little bit of the stamina and run towards this guy, this scorpion, and bait out 1 attack and go to the right side of this scorpion. If this scorpion is walking towards us, we try to bait out an attack from this one as well. If not, like here, we try to hack the right wall as close as we can. If this scorpion here is step back a little bit and do his charge attack, where he jumps 3 times at you, try to throw 1 or 2 shot puts at him to cancel his attack. Because if you don't do it, you get 100% hit at the ladder. So try to cancel his attack with shot puts or cluster grenades if you see the charge attack. The charge attack is really, really hard to avoid if you don't stagger him. At least cancel his attack. You don't need to stagger him. Okay, for the next section, we climb up the ladder, activate the Stargazer, because we need the throwables back. Make sure you're lightweight. For the whole section, you need to be lightweight. For this section, we will throw 1 thermite at this carcass right there. And sometimes the mini scorpion gets attracted to the sound of the thermite. But sometimes it doesn't. So in this case, we will throw 1 cogwheel at this carcass blob. For this strat right here, we're trying to bait the mini scorpion towards the edge of the ground here to kick him off with cluster grenades. We have 2 options to do this. The first option is use the thermite and the mini scorpion gets attracted to the sound of the collision. but sometimes he doesn't. So in this case, you need to do the second option. This is the first one, and you can see the Scorpion doesn't aggro or doesn't go to the spot right here. So what you can do in option 2 is focus on the lock onto the carcass blob, throw one cogwheel, and you can see the Scorpion reacted to the sound and walk towards the blob. But that isn't enough distance to kick him off. So we will throw one cogwheel in this section right here. Just take off the lock on and put the camera slightly above from this blob. And throw one cogwheel, and this Scorpion will walk towards the section. Now you have to be quick. Throw one one cluster grenade, and a second one right after, so he drops off the edge, and we can easily go down and take the ladder. It's completely free. If you mess up the cluster grenades, you can go back to the Stargazer and do it again. If you don't have enough throwables, just buy one or two more from the merchant. So it isn't much of an issue. For this section, we will kill these dogs with our wands. Make sure you don't stay too much in the disruption fog, because otherwise you will die. And dying in this game is also a hit. This room is really scary because of the little Scorpion. So what you're gonna do is you have to be as close as possible to this left wall right here and make a really wide circle around this guy to avoid any hits from him. And here you gonna wait for these traps. Throw two throwing cells or other throwables at this carcass enemy. Wait here again and kill this carcass with melee attacks. Activate this thing here. Let's activate the bridge. Okay. A little bit forward. Drop right here. You don't die because you're lightweight. To prevent any hits from this cannon and this mini Scorpion here, stand behind this pillar right here, a little bit more to the right side that your sharp puts can hit, and throw 3 sharp puts at this mini Scorpion. 1, 2, 3. After the third one, he will stagger, and we can easily run past this guy. For this one, you have to be careful of the acid explosion, as you can see here. Make sure you have enough distance. You can ignore this guy on the cannon because he will never aggro to you if you climb up the ladder. And here it's really easy to get to the elevator. Just go like as I do and try to hug the wall that this mini Victor don't rush through the wall. The next enemy, you wait until you hear the sound from his attack. This one. Go backwards, wait until he did the attack, and easily run past this guy. For the butterfly, make sure you run in a straight line, but try to walk a little bit into him As you can see on my controller, that my stick is a little bit more to the left. So he can pushes me from the bridge. Okay, for this section, make sure if you talk to the black cat, don't use your left stick. Because if you use the left stick while you talking with him, the option for the gold fruit coin can switch to the not give the coin, and if that happens, the black cat will attack you, and you can't give the gold coin to a red fox as well, and she will also attack you. So keep in mind that you don't press or hold the left stick while you're talking to the black cat. Now it's time for the kata strat. So make sure you bait down this carcass enemy right here, because if you don't do this, he will attack you while you're trying to pull the leather. Okay, for this section, you need to be careful. Use your cat dust. And you have to listen to this enemy right here. In a second, I turn the volume up. If the carcass enemy aggroes to you, you will hear his footsteps, and you can be 100% sure that this upcoming clown, will aggro to this carcass enemy instead of you. But if you don't hear his footsteps, you can 100% be sure that this clown will aggro to you. You hear that by, I think, at this part here. And now what you do is just run into the corner right here. And this clown will aggro to the carcass enemy. Pull the lever. And go back to the large stargazer. And do the whole running section again, but for one exception. You run to the door that opened instead of the ladder. Like here. And easy go to the ladder. Make sure you don't wreck stamina while the puppet is dropping down, because if you do this, sometimes he can grab you from the ladder. For the next section, it's also important to be lightweight, and you don't need any cat dust or anything else. Just sprint as fast as possible through this area. Make sure you don't get stuck on any wall or pillar or any enemy. Just sprint to this next ladder. The guy right here will always do a melee attack. It looks close, but it isn't close at all. And immediately after the ladder, sprint away, because sometimes, or not sometimes, but if you are too slow, the attacks from the mini carcass can hit you right after the ladder. I tested this like 20 times in a row and never got hit with this. So, that's a good strat. Put this guy and kill him. It's really simple. Do this guy with some throwables. It's free. Make sure you drop down here, because up there is another enemy. If you run left side, you have to dodge it or kill him. That's scary. So just drop it. And there's also a full moonstone, which you can sell for extra ergo, which is really nice. And for this section, just run or sprint through this area and go to the ladder. And we are literally done for this running section. Now it's time for Lax. Lax is in this route one of the easiest boss fights because we have a script to nuke her in phase 2 and a script to not completely nuke her because we need to do a little setup before the phase 2 starts. That's why we don't nuke her. We could do it, but we won't. So in this case, we go back to the hotel, or in this case, the Madam District, and buy some throwables. We need at least one shot put, 7 acid pods, and some thermites to finish her off in phase 1. You can also finish her off with melee attacks, but it's way safer to do it with throwables. So in this case, buy these throwables. I bought 7 here, 7 here, some shot puts. It's also better to buy more shot puts because if you miss the first one, you can also throw a second one, and it's also safe for the strat. So make sure you have full favor slots, and also you need to buy, or you have to. You need 4 favor catalysts. So try to get as much damage as you can get. You can level up to 15 vigor because 15 vigor is a good stamina boost. And after 15 vigor, you can put the rest of the level in advance for a bit more damage output. What we're gonna do here is really simple. We use the Watchman amulet, which gives us extra damage for each filled favor slot. We use Arm of God for extra damage on consistently attacks. So if we get 4 attacks in a row, all next attacks does increase damage. So Lex is a human type enemy, so we use the human or murder puppet amulet, and we use the advance amulet for more scaling on the weapon. And also we use the perfect grindstone for second phase. That's a no-brainer. So we start the fight with a shot put. You have to throw this shot put immediately towards her. Just press and log on. Always hits. Bang. You can see. Hits, and right after the shot put hits, she starts to run at you. And she can do 2 attacks. The first one is the overhead slash, which you can strafe to the right side. And the second one is the running attack where she holds the sword horizontal and do an horizontal slash. In this case, she did the overhead slash, and we immediately after we do an attack immediately after the strafe. 2 R2s, charge R2s, and immediately after charge R2s we perform a fable attack, which leads to a stagger. And right after we do another charge R2, which breaks her shield. And 1 again. And now we back up a little bit because we need to set up our fable for phase 2. And also the have to discharge the Fable again, the pulse cells again, for extra 20% damage. So in this case, try to run away and immediately discharge your pulse cells, because after the discharge we have more stamina, or less stamina consumption. So try to run away and use your Fable slots. And now activate your Fable again, because we don't have time in the second phase for this. And now you can finish her off with Thermites or other throwables. But don't use your acid pots in the first phase, because we need all 7 in the second phase. And acid pots do the most damage on her. So what we do is throw immediately after the cutscene 2 acid pots. If you don't do it immediately, the second one doesn't hit. Use your perfect grindstone, and right, if you can see, if she's jumping in the air, you can start throwing your acid pots, the rest of your acid pots, and yeah. After the last one, just hold your L1 or LB button to instant parry all of this lightning attacks and also her fury attack. After that, you will do, or you have to do 4 R1s to get 4 stacks, and now you have to do the Fable attack again. And nuke her. The second opener is similar to the first one. Throw 1 shot put at her, use your Fable and your Fable Catalyst, 1 towards her, and you will immediately see that she changes her opening. For this one, you need to make sure to dodge into her, so slow walk and wait for the attack. Because if you end up behind her, she will do a follow-up attack. If you dodge right into her, she will push you backwards. In this case, do 2 charge 2s, 2 back hops, and now dodge to the left side of this attack, that you can destroy her shield. Right after the charge 2, do a Fable attack, the stagger, and another charge 2 right behind. Run away to do the phase 2 setup. One Thermite at her, use a Fable. Now you're phase 2. It's really simple. Just need to memorize the patterns. We go back to Madam District and buy 2 stacks of Thermite and 2 stacks of acid pots. Also 2 stacks of cluster grenades, 1 stack of shot put, and 1 stack of throwing cell. Go back to hotel, refill your Fable slots. And we are good to go for the next section. Make sure you buy some Fable Catalyst. Discharge your pull cells. Reduce the stamina consumption. Talk to Sophia and take the let her live option that we don't get any humanity.
Sylvia. I think she's gone back.
So here it's also important to be lightweight or lightweight. And yeah, just throw 2 acid pots at this guy and 1 at this guy. So you don't have to be scared of those 2 enemies. After these guys, make sure you hug the left wall, because there's a human enemy which breaks through the wall. And if you're not in the middle of, if you are in the middle of the path right here, he can hit you. So stay as close as possible to the left side. Not too close, because the pillar will block you. So just as close as you can get. Now for this section, for this part, it's really simple. We bait out an attack from this guy, run straight up into this ledge, into this area, and take the aggro if you want, but you don't need to. So we avoid follow-up attacks from this guy. For the rest, it's just run as fast as you can possible. As fast as possible to the ladder. This guy you will kill with 2 thermites. And for this section, I use perfect grindstone to parry the shots from this guy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. After 3 attacks, you can also kill him with thermites. And the first part of the running section to Manus is done after killing this guy. You can collect this one as well if you want. It's only 1,000 ergos, but you can skip it as well. Now we run to Red Fox. Give her the last gold fruit coin.
It's a reason. But if some, for one, it's not. Thank you. It's not. I swear. Go on.
Or gold coin fruit.
I never even if on hurry.
Get the key from Geppetto. And also to say the truth to him. So we are avoiding any humanity in the run to get only one option in the last dialogue. Now we'll get to the Stargazer, activate it and rest on it, so we reset our throwables. For the next enemy, discharge your Fable, your pull cells, activate your Fable, and as soon as you can throw items on this enemy, throw 2 cluster grenades on her. After that, 1 shot put, and now perform 3 charger 2s. 1, 2, 3. Dead. And now we will kill all of these enemies with thermites or acid pots. These fire enemies will also kill, but with throwing cells. You can also run past these enemies without killing them, but it's really scary and you don't want to get hit on this running section after 3 hours and 50 minutes. So I decided to kill everyone in this section
Across my grave.
except the upcoming mini boss.
Everywhere. I mean, this place is saturated with it.
This one is easy
Expect
to avoid.
mountain of
Just run past him. For this guy, it's important to run over this little bridge that the attacks from the mini Victor can hit you at this area. So you run over the bridge and immediately throw 2 or 3 acid pots at him. Take the ergo if you want. And do the same shit on this guy. On this guy, you will bait out an attack. And after the attack, he will idle a little bit backwards, and you can kill him while he's doing that. Pick up this ergo if you want to. And now it's time for the last boss of the run. And it is actually the hardest one. This is actually the last time we will buy throwables at the merchant. So we only need 1 stack of each. And we go back to the hotel, refill our Fable slots. And pray for Hitless Run. Because the upcoming fight is just ass. Make sure you collect select the Stagger Grindstone. Discharge your pull cells again. Check your amulets. You need to have Arm of Gods, Watchman Amulet, Ghostwalker Amulet, and Murder Puppet Amulet. For this fight, we will buff us before the fight, so we use the Grindstone before the fight, activate our Fable, and recharge 2 Fable slots and enter the boss fight. We want as much damage as we can, and with the 5 filled Fable slots we get 20% extra damage from the Watchman Amulet. What we're gonna trying to do here is get 10 R1s in the boss to get the mini stagger. After the mini stagger, we perform a Fable Art attack and finish him off with 2 or 3 R1s after the Fable Art attack. That sounds really simple, but this boss is really hard to master because he has so many different attacks, and trying to read all of his attacks is just a nightmare. So you have to practice this boss a lot. Really a lot. For this attack, if he is trying to do a right-handed slash to the left side, you have time for 3 R1s. I missed the first one. That's why I only hit 2. Dodge to the left side. Sometimes you can do a right or a left-handed swing. Or right-handed swing right after. So that's why I stopped attacking. Dodged just to pretend a quick attack. Then I performed 2 R1s. This is the worst attack that he can do into this attack. I lost a run to this attack because this is really, really hard to react on. So, as you can see, the fight RNG is just ass right now. Now what you're gonna do is wait until he is doing the right-handed or a double-handed slash from the right to the left side. Oh, no, from this side, from his left to his right side. And dodge into this attack. So you have time to put like 5 or 6 R1s. This is this mini stagger, and now you have to attack with the Fable Art. Now you can see he's nearly dead. So just do 2 more R1s. And at the beginning of the second phase, we will discharge our pull cells. Manus has actually 3 or 4 openings. The first one is the opening where he puts magic into the ground, which travels to you at your position and explodes. You can easily strafe this attack, but combined with other attacks, it's a little bit tricky. He has a magic ball attack, which stays in the air and shoots projectiles at you, which you can also strafe to left or right side. The next magic attack is a spread magic attack that stops in the air and flies towards you after 2 or 3 seconds, like here. And the last opening is just a back up or side up. So normally I throw 1 throwable at him that misses, which is bad. This wave is always strafable, but keep in mind, if you want to try to dodge it, this attack has a so bad hitbox because the hitbox is way too early in this attack and hits you before the visual hits you. So keep in mind to dodge earlier in this wave, but I recommend to strafe this attack. You can easily strafe all of the explosion ones. And what you're gonna do on this attack, because we have the Ghost Walking Amulet, you can easily dodge backwards. After the dodge, we do a charge at 2. And 3 or 4 R1s. You do the same attack again. And if you want to, you can use, while he's mid-air, the Fable Art to get even more damage out. And get the decay effect on him. What we want to try to do to get the blitz effect on him, because with the blitz effect on him, he gets more voice damage. And I messed it up because at the God word, he will transition to the second phase, or 2.1 phase from his phase, and summons a big hand. And if you don't get the lightning or the blitz effect on him, we usually don't get stagger in second 0.1 phase. We try to throw cluster grenades at him that he staggers here, and immediately throw a 3 thermite as well, so we get the fire effect on him. What we're gonna do now is run away from this hand. Also try to get sharp puts in. But in this case, we got really bad RNG with the lightning blitz effect. So, yeah. Now we have to deal without a stagger. So we just play it slow and throw the rest of our throwables at him. And try to dodge all attacks like we do it before the transition. Normally, I would recommend to throw the acid pods at him because it does a lot of damage. And actually the most damage of all throwables. But, yeah. I'm scared of the wave, that's why I don't throw that much acid pods at him. But yeah, you can also kill him melee if he gets, if he performs the fury attack. Just do it like me and dodge behind and dodge backwards and attack him with charger 2s and R1s. And you can kill him like this way as well. And you got the last boss, Hitless. Let's go. Now we have to wait until this fucking elevator gets down. It takes so long. That is why I will skip it. Now talk to Geppetto. And if you did it correctly, you have only one option. And you can mess it up. So give your heart and your run is done. If you need a tool for Lies of P to create save games or save files, check out the link in the description below. There's a tool I've developed like a few months ago, and I already work on a new version of it for design upgrades and more features. So stay tuned for that one. Also, thank you very much for watching this guide. It was my first guide in English, so hopefully it wasn't that bad. And I wish you good luck on your runs.